for tuning in to the Real Tea with T3. I'm your host, Teja Harris, and the team leader of Texas Trio Team. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Deanna Kennesaw, and I'm a team member of Texas Trio Team, and I'm happy to be here.
Excellent. So today, home repairs or things like that happen as you step into home ownership, or if you're thinking about purchasing a home, these are things that you may want to think about. So we have a special guest that is from our community. Who are you and what keeps you busy these days?
My name is Jake Stickler, and I'm the branch manager of Absolute Roofing here in Brenham.
So you and I had talked like before we got on here, and like you have a family business. This is not a corporatized, environment that you're working in. So tell us all about it.
Yeah, so it's a family-owned business. So we're just a family business that loves to do roofing, and we've been in business for 22 years. Started and originated in Beaumont, Texas. That's where he started it and created it. Um, I ranched for a living. I did a bunch of cowboy stuff, and uh, I liked money a little bit, so it was a good opportunity for me to kind of do a little side job, and then and it just kind of took off. I'm a personable type of guy. I love to talk to people, and it just kind of fit. And him and I got to talking, and just kind of decided to grow the business and move a branch over here in Brenham. So for the past 4 years, I've been running it over here.
That's incredible. So tell us about ranch life. Like, were you like herding cattle? Like,
Yes, I was help managing a ranch here in Brenham in Old Washington for Travis Medvey, TM Cattle Company. I don't know if you know his wife, Samantha Medvey.
mhm.
Great family. I worked for them for 6, 7 years. Rodeoed before that, and so I've always been around people.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like a lot of grit to do that, to live that lifestyle. And, I feel like it's over time, it feels like it's being lost.
Yes.
And so, what is it from that type of environment that you like grew up in doing and stepping into like a customer service type of business?
It took a little while to get used to, just because I dealt with people, but I didn't deal with people on like a personal level. Because right now I'm dealing with your home, right? So I'm dealing with this is your domain, this is your castle, and I'm coming into it, and I'm trying to give you a peace of mind that know that I can do a job for you. So it was a little bit of a learning curve for me, but it wasn't too bad because of how personable I am. But I do take that type of mentality of the honesty, integrity of what a cowboy kind of lives by in that code, and I put it into the business side of it. So that way, I mean, you're getting honesty from us and integrity, and there's a lot of my thing of saying in the roofing industry is I'm trying to bring the honesty back into it, because there's a lot of shady stuff that goes into construction, and I would rather lose business than try to be shady.
100%. So, I mean, they say like you can take the cowboy out of the country, but you can't take the cowboy out of him, So,
Absolutely.
what are some things that you are implementing to bring those values into your business?
I think just the honesty of it. I mean, a good handshake and a word of mouth, and doing what I say so I can say what I do type of thing. And the guys that I've got working for me are the same way. I don't, if you and I don't vibe, we don't work together. And that's kind of the same way with customers. Not every customer is for me. And
Right.
if there's anything that jeopardizes me or my family or my business, then I'm not gonna.
Yeah. And I mean, like, once you kind of have that skin of like, like probably from the first meeting if it's going to be a good working relationship or not.
Right.
And that's why I like dealing with custom homes too. Custom home builders that's our bread and butter. I mean, obviously re-roofs, after a hailstorm or somebody needs
Right.
it done, realtors call, they need, their customer is, they need a new roof either for the buyer or the seller. We can get it done real quick. Those are fun. But the custom home builders, I deal with a guy named John Holt here in Brenham, or Burton. And, me and him have created a really good relationship, and it takes like the guessing game out of everything, right?
Mhm.
So we get to have a good time with it, and create something that's for somebody that designed something. But I like it.
Absolutely. So, when you are like, what is it that you wish that the person that is purchasing your house maybe a new construction that you wish they knew ahead of time that maybe isn't easily like right there available to them?
Mm. Because the one thing that you do look at is your roof, but you don't necessarily see like the quality of it. For most people, just a roof is a roof. My roof isn't leaking. I don't need to do anything with it. Uh, but there's so many different types of shingles or metal that if we can just talk about it and I can show you the difference of the quality and how we install them is a little bit different than some of the others. So if I can just put it into perspective of how we do things, it kind of it kind of opens up a door for them to ask more questions.
Absolutely. And so that's one of the things that I do like with my kids is like in the middle of Texas heat summers, like we'll be
Mhm.
driving by and seeing like the roofers and it's like,
Yeah.
bless them,
Yeah,
like
it's hot,
My
but the
dad,
guys rather would do it in the summer
some
than the winter.
really.
Yeah,
My dad
they're
had
crazy.
us when I was in junior high. We had to get up on the roof and we had to help take the shingles off the roof because he was putting a roof on. My brother and I both. I remember getting stuck up there because it was lunchtime and they didn't help me down the ladder and I didn't want to go down the ladder by myself. That was the most horrifying part. But he wanted us to know what it was like
Yeah.
to do it so we would appreciate those who do.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hot. And
it's hard.
it's all asphalt, so it's
Yeah,
asphalt and fiberglass,
and
and
it's soaking in that heat.
it's hot.
or just like metal roofs,
Yeah,
like,
metal roofs are really hot too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to
yeah.
wear gloves so you don't burn your hands.
Absolutely. And so, or I mean, like, plus whenever you cut it, like, you
Mhm.
just don't want to hurt yourself.
Yeah, it takes. I like the metal. I think more than I do the shingles because shingles is easy. You can throw them up and be done.
Right.
Which on our shingles is different. Like I said before, that we do things a little bit different than some of the other guys around here. We don't use any air compressor guns, so you're not going to have any blowout. We do everything old school. It's
Oh, wow.
hammer and nail. So
Really?
yes, ma'am. So we do everything that's kind of the old school way, and that's kind of like how my uncle was raised. Is old school. Just
Don't fix it if it's not broken.
that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
And so we do it that way, and I've gotten quite a bit of business doing it that way.
Hmm.
Yeah. So one, it's not loud. The only thing you're hearing is the hammers, but
Yeah.
you're getting a really good connection. But going back, like the metal side of it, I enjoy it more because it's like an art, and seeing these guys that do it and how they have to fold it and
Mm.
bend it, and there we just did one for John in Belleville, and it was, I mean, you have hips and the valleys and steep roof and the smaller, and it was just like there's not one straight panel. It was all cuts, and it took us just a little bit longer, but to watch the guys sit there and think about it and measure it and do it, and then you see the final product and you're like,
It's
this is what I
beautiful.
want
Yeah.
people to see. Yeah.
That's neat.
Um,
That's something that you wouldn't really think about when you're
mm,
ever driving by a house
yeah.
and
The
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 art that went
yeah,
into it.
the art that goes into it. That's what gets me excited is the art of it.
That's cool.
I'm really curious, like this may be a silly question, but like when someone's doing a composition versus a metal, is it two different kinds of contractors or like they can, your guys can
No,
do
I
everything?
have different like I
Hmm.
have different people that do. So all of our metal is in house. And so on the Beaumont side, so with us being in business a little bit longer, uh, everybody over there is all in house. Our shingles and our metal. Over here, the metal is in house, but the shingles I have to shove out. But the guy only works for me in another company.
I gotcha.
So we build a really good relationship. But I don't put my shingle guys on my metal stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
That makes sense.
it takes a special person to try to figure things out.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I was thinking is like in real estate, like you have people that can do like lot sales for like, lot block subdivisions, but that's very different than farm and ranch sales,
Right. Big
still
time.
land,
Yeah.
still a roof, but
Yep.
completely different things.
Yeah. There's different people that I deal with on real estate and that I know personally, like Sam and her
Hmm.
girls that work for her, and Zach Mursky. He's more of the ranch sales and stuff. So they both do the same thing, but it's different.
Right.
Hmm. So your family was from Beaumont, moved out here. So are you a bib or a bob?
I'm a Bob. Yeah. I'm originally from Montgomery, Texas.
Okay.
I graduated there. So my mother is the sibling to my uncle. They're brother and sister. So he lives there. He's lived there for a while. And then as soon as I graduated high school, I had to get out of it. I had to get out of Montgomery.
Well, it's grown a lot, probably.
Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah, my
Pretty
husband,
much.
my husband does like construction. He does concrete pouring out there, and anyways, like he's like the construction on the roads are just horrible.
It's terrible. Yeah, my mom still lives there. I go see her as much as I can. My sister's still there, but I can't. I'd still do business out there, but
Sure.
it's grown. It's a great community. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm from there. There's still a lot of good people there, but this is my place.
So
I love
what
Brenham.
was it that drew you to move out into Washington County?
My in-laws moved here 12, 13 years ago. I think it was. They moved off of into Independence, and me and my wife fell in love with it, and we found a place here in town, and it's just we love it here. I
Yeah.
mean, the people, do have some sour people, but majority of the people here
Everywhere has sour people.
yeah, the majority of the people that are here, it's great. You know, I think me working with Travis in the beginning, whenever 'cause I moved, I think we've been here 12 years, 11, something in there. Uh, when I worked for him and then moved into here with him being a prominent name in Brenham, it kind of helped me kind of get in with the bibs. More or less with the bibs.
Yeah.
I'm curious, how long did it take for you to hear that term? And
Right off.
Yeah,
I know.
me too.
We are all Bobs, and we're okay with it.
Well, it's an actual thing.
It
Yes,
is.
it is.
It's
It
an
is.
actual thing. But I did a roof for a gentleman here in town, and he's been here since like the 60s, you know, graduated from here, and he could tell you anything and everything about everybody and every road that was here. And I'm like, "Man, I mean, it's pretty cool, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real thing."
Well, it's kind of like a little time capsule. It's like
It
you're
is.
saying, like where you grew up in Montgomery or like wherever we grew up from, is like so much change has
Yeah.
happened over the years. And it's like, like this building that we're in was built in 1885. So it's just like there's so much rich history, for the birthplace of Texas.
I got to re-roof the Scalito's Coffee,
Mm.
and I think it's 100 years old. There was layers of roof on top of it, but that was a cool thing to be able to kind of to be a part of a history building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like if these walls could talk. So you're
Yeah.
like, if this roof could talk.
Yeah. Yeah,
There's,
absolutely.
I mean, like,
Lots of layers.
well, we had done, Caitlin, what was it called when we went and did the walk a couple weeks ago, like around Imagine the Possibilities. Did you hear about that event that was going on? So it was like they were showing off like properties that were for sale or for lease, or just for the general public to come to, and realtors like went to it, and just to kind of get behind the scenes of certain things. And Ballard of the Bird Dog, we went in there because they had a couple of spaces, but we went and explored like a lot of these buildings that you just don't get to walk in every day. It's not a common boutique, but I thought it would, like, you can sense like, is this place haunted? Like,
Yeah. What else going on in here?
Well, it's vacant. Top. It used to be an old dentist, and
that's where we were. I'm just kidding.
yeah, and you can see like the old electrical work in it and everything. It's pretty.
Did you get the heebie-jeebies?
Yeah.
We did too. No disrespect to that building owner.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, but so like this place, like, I've always wondered what it was, and I actually just found out yesterday. It used to be the feed store.
Really,
This building.
this building did?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, there's just so much history and so many like values that we can bring to like future generations here.
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of people in town that are Bobs that are making it their home, and like Jared with Ballad, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
him and his wife, what they have done for that building and everything, and the community, and trying to make it nice. The tables outside.
Yeah, I love that area.
Park lots.
That's so cool. They did that. Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jared and them are doing a pretty well job for this town.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you get people that come from all different areas to, like, you would expect major change, but it's just like, it seems like everybody wants to maintain,
Yeah.
but just
Restore.
improve. Yeah.
Restore it. Yeah.
I like the restoring.
Mhm.
John likes to do a bunch of those remodels. So like the house that we just did that I was talking about with the standing seam of different hips and everything, it was a remodel that they moved a house to it and built on it. And I
Oh,
really like
that's
the
neat.
remodels of the old houses.
So, I mean, like speaking of like these things like that are important is like, you are working within a family business and that is very different than a corporatized setting. So, like if somebody was wanting to operate like a something new or create a business, but family's probably the best resource for them, like what advice would you give to them like working with your family so closely?
Being completely honest, always talk because like there's been times where with me and my uncle, he won't say some things to me because I'm his nephew, or he holds things back because I'm family, or well, you got to hash it out. You got to talk about it because closed mouths don't move anywhere. It's something like you have to communicate. Communication is huge. Um, so that's what I would do. Just grit it out because in the end all right, whenever he's gone and he passes it down, that's on me. So it's a generational thing that you have to keep alive. If family's important to you, which family to me is everything.
Absolutely. And so if you like, is there any lessons that you have learned over the years as far as like business operation that even if somebody was wanting a new business or maybe they're in a small businesses can really struggle because of certain things? Like
Right.
what advice would you give to somebody if they're trying to rebrand or just grow as they step into 2026?
Conversations. Conversations starting. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. You never know who you're going to talk to or what the conversation is going to be. Bro, I can talk to a stranger on the park bench and we're going to find something in common.
I
And that's
love
yeah.
that.
And so I mean, I went and had a meeting with a new potential builder, and that's in the Conroe area, and it's if I didn't reach out and talk to them, and you just never know what you're gonna get yourself into if you don't just start a conversation. And I think that's a lot of things that lack in today's is the conversations. I think there's a lot of things that could be hashed out or be brought up if it's just have a conversation.
Do you think that that's something that's being lost over the years? Just kind of like the ways of where you came from is
Mhm.
like, they're being lost over time, but like because of technology and
Yeah.
like the way like social
It,
distancing did to like these young kids.
I so I like picking up the phone and calling. So I think it's if you can just answer the phone or talk or whatever, that I think that's huge.
There's so much left for interpretation when you're texting. Like you don't know their tone, and whatever tone that you think you're having in your head, and so people are like, "That was so rude," and you're like, "What do you mean that was so rude? I didn't mean it that way at all." So there is a lot that can be mixed
Yeah,
up in texting for sure.
it's a it's a real thing, especially in a marriage. I text my wife something. She's like, "Wow, that was rude." And that's not what I meant. I'm sorry.
Well, I get, well, why were you yelling at me? And I respond back, I thought it all caps was yelling. Like
Yeah.
this was all lowercase.
Yeah. I think like on somebody that's either trying to rebrand or start something, I think just talking, answering a phone is huge, and always being there. Don't be scared to talk to somebody.
Yeah. And just in customer service overall is, ask more questions
Yeah,
versus telling all the time.
and listening.
There's a difference between listening and active listening.
Yeah. So my father-in-law, him and I are pretty close. Me and my wife been married for 13 years, and
Congratulations.
thank you. And he's been a huge pivotal person in my life on how I've grown into a man, on how he's kind of taught me like because my father really wasn't in the picture and stuff. So uh, he's in sales as well, and so he's I mean that sucker there could sell a ketchup popsicle with a woman in white gloves. And, and he's also a preacher too. So he brings that type of godly wisdom into business and to relationships. And the one thing he's always taught me is just to be honest and listen. And like he can, whenever he goes into a place, he listens what they're having to say and what their needs are, so that way he knows how to fulfill their needs in whatever aspect. So,
Yeah.
whenever he goes into a bit, he knows how many kids you have, what you like, what you don't like, and he's not going to come and bring you cookies if you have a cookie allergy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the little things I think that people misunderstand. I think paying attention to little things makes it for a bigger picture.
Right. Yeah. My son did like the big event recently. He's a teenager, and like one thing that my husband and I have instilled in both of our children is like you have to work for what you have. Like nothing is ever given to you, nothing is ever free. And like so when he came home from that, he's like, "Mom, you wouldn't believe it. Like a lot of these kids didn't know like what a hammer was or like how to use a power drill."
Right.
And he was on cloud nine because he was the advanced one. But I'm like, when I think about young men stepping into like,
Right.
growing up and doing these things, like we have to protect these things, like, because you never know, the technology may not always be there. Or, if you had to use what's around you, like we
To
have to
survive.
instill these values. Like, so, like you said, like your father-in-law has been that person for you. Like we have to do these things.
Someone's smoting. He was sourcing things that he was supposed to be teaching his kids. Like he was sending his kids to go to Bible school and this and that, and he sat back and realized that it's the stuff that he's supposed to be teaching.
Connecting with his kids in those ways. Yeah.
But you get lost in the sauce, right?
Right.
You kind of like get lost in translate of whatever beliefs or whatever you have in it. You tend to just kind of focus more on what's easiest, and I think grinding it out for your family and your kids uh, is what's supposed to happen.
Yeah. And like you said in the beginning, is like, a lot of people love money. Money makes the world go round. Like, but it seems like it's so much more pressure, like to attain money than it, maybe was in years past. And so it makes it hard, like for parents out there that are in the grind all the time, trying to provide for their families and then also give that other half of themselves or more of themselves to their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you take the two things, like you're saying, and put them together, maybe you don't need as much money
Right.
if you're taking the time to teach those to themselves, right? As opposed to making a lot of money, working really hard, and paying somebody else to do it. You're kind of killing two birds with one stone. You don't need as much money, and you're spending more time with your kids teaching them what they need to know. Yeah.
She's something happens, she doesn't know what to do.
Yep.
So I'm it's easy for me to be a little bit harsher on her just because I think it's necessary. You have a mother for a reason to nurture, and you have a father for a purpose. So
Yep.
I think it's being there. I think being there for your kids is huge, because I know what it's like not to have that and always strive for it. So and I don't know on what's allowed on the podcast or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think, like for me, what really helped me on my family values is, and I'm pretty open about it, and I'll never will not be, because it was huge for me. I ended up getting sober over almost 6 years ago in November.
Me too.
Yeah.
6 years.
Yeah, 6 years in November 20th will be 6 years, and for me that was, and it was a family line of, my mother's an alcoholic, my uncle, my grandparents, and all that. Um, but for me, in my story, I had to do it. So my daughter will never. She's 7, so she was a little over a year and a half whenever I got sober. So she's never gonna have to see it. Today she's not. I don't know about tomorrow, but today she knows that she has a daddy that's present. And
Yeah.
that's what I want for my kids.
That is awesome. And so, like you said, I think a lot of people have to go through a lot of pain, and they like alcohol or drugs and addiction, like in the family. It's like an easy
Crutch.
Yeah, it's an easy crutch, but it is also very difficult. Did you go cold turkey?
No, I went into the rooms of.
Okay.
Yeah, I before I got on my last drink, and I decided to go straight into the rooms because I everybody's different. Everybody has their own way of doing everything. And I've never knocked anybody for either going to church, getting sober, or doing cold turkey, white knuckling, whatever it is that is
You need to
making
do,
you being a better person, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't care. But for me, uh, that's what I tried to use the church, but I used it as a crutch of, oh, it's okay. He'll forgive me tomorrow, or I'll just ask for forgiveness later. Whatever the case may be. But whenever I went in there, I was able to, I know, kind of like hear other people's stories that I didn't feel bad about. I didn't have to hear somebody tell me, "Oh, well, that's kind of crazy. Maybe you should just pray about it or something."
Mm-hmm.
But it's what I needed. So
Yeah, and I think there's so many avenues that you can go down if like, but you have to personally be ready for it. Like you have to make that decision. Nobody else around you can make it for you.
right, that's 100%.
Yeah.
It's fact.
Yeah. So I mean, I think the hardest part for some people is like, well, everybody else does it, but it does seem like over the past couple of years, there's a lot of people that have had that realization.
We were meeting yesterday, and sobriety got brought up. The guy's sister just got sober. She's got a month of sobriety, and just got on that topic, and he said that the distribution centers are down, the alcohol people are down. I don't. I just I see a lot of it more now that people are getting sober. Um, I just I just tell people to be careful also because I don't want them to use that as a crutch as well.
Yeah. So I'm curious though, like on the hard days, because everybody has them.
Yeah.
What are the things that you can do, like that you're doing, so you like don't lose the track that you're on right now and can keep moving forward?
I think being trying to think about bad days, but whenever I'm due having like I'll call my wife to be honest. Like if I'll text her, like I'm kind of
So just somebody.
yeah, my wife or the sponsors that I've had before, or somebody that I know that's not going to beat me down for having a bad day. My brother moved to Florida, so we talk a bunch on the phone. So I'll just call him. And he just tells me stop being a sissy.
just someone to check in with. Yeah, to kind of like lay your burdens down like to them a little bit,
I
so you're
think
not harboring them.
yeah, I think I'll
Yes.
keep a lot.
Yeah.
So I think
Truth.
it's so I think open and honest and talking is kind of use. I mean, I said it earlier. Conversations can save your life. I think.
That is so true. And so, I mean, like, what's your feelings or thoughts about like, I feel like for decades that it was, men should just be that solid, don't bend, don't break, like you don't cry, there are no emotions there. And then whereas today it seems like no, it's actually like you should probably get it out or you're gonna turn to drugs or addiction of some sort of capacity, or just, not have good mental health.
I still think it's men being able to be,
Mm-hmm.
but I still think that we still need to be men and still be tough and still be strong and honest. Uh, you don't have to hold it in. Like I think that's something that we could probably eliminate. Like you don't have. Like my daughter says the other day, I've only seen you cry one time, Daddy. Your dog. The only time I seen you cry. Um, I tried. Like when it does come to her, I do get a little bit more emotional. But I think I still think being like a pillar for your home and being strong
Sure.
and not showing weakness and having to go to a safe space I think is still good
Is part of
for
that
men.
strength in admitting that today's a bad day? Like,
Mhm.
isn't that kind
Yep,
of, yeah, and being able to talk to somebody, know who to go to, not necessarily breaking down in front of everyone,
right.
but like knowing who your people are to go and say, today's not an okay day. And
Right.
that's part of the strength of being able to have that bad day and then pick up and go into the next day.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
I can still be a jerk, still be closed off. You say something like I'm more of a a jerk to family, I guess, because it's easier
because they're
that way.
closer.
Yeah, because they're closer. Like
They'll still love you no matter what.
yeah. So but if I don't, I'll get back in the old habits of, I may not drink, but I can still have that attitude problem that I did have, the self-centered, self-righteous, it all about me type thing.
That's harder to kick than the alcohol.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's a whole lot harder to get rid of the self-image type. So it's being selfish I think it's in everybody's DNA to try
But
to
we're born
have
that way. We have to learn not to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard thing.
It's hard to kick.
I'm working on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's always.
I'm a work in progress.
Yes, and we all are.
Big time.
So, I mean, that was a great, thank you for bringing
Yes,
that up.
thank you.
I mean, like there are so many people that are dealing with struggles, whatever that may be. And like some people just need to find it. Like maybe the algorithm will bring them that clip of you
Yeah.
talking through that struggle.
When I first got sober, I was super open about it, and everybody was like, "You just need to be quiet."
Really?
Like, no, why would I?
Oh,
why would
wow.
I be?
Yeah, no.
No, I was cowboying for a living too. I was managing a ranch. That's the place
Those
that
are the
I feel
people you
like I
need to be
needed to be the
together.
loudest. I mean, everywhere you go, you go to a party, there's going to have drinks and
Yeah.
weddings and whatever. But it's okay to be sober and still have fun.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's hard. I'll admit that was like one of the things, like when I became sober, is like, if I went with my girlfriends or something, I'm like, I don't want to be the loser,
Yeah.
But then once I did it, I was like, actually, my friends were really cool. And they were like, we'll be sober with you. We'll do mocktails. And like, I feel like you have to have that person or those people around you in that supporting environment. And if you don't, it's probably why you're trying to get out of that environment in the first place.
It's the wrong environment. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So thank you for bringing it up and like loud and proud all about it.
All about it.
Because other people need it.
Yeah.
Like,
because my wife is 100% opposite than I am. She's been tipsy once in her life.
really?
Wow.
That's it. Yeah. It's just something that, her and her mom are that way. They don't need a drink. They don't need anything. They don't.
Yeah.
She drinks her coffee in the mornings, and that's it.
I am a proud addict of coffee.
I am too. Yeah. So that's what my father-in-law said the other day. He said, I'm so glad that my wife approves of my coffee addiction. Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, but once you do it, whatever that is that you've worked through, is like, what is the next challenge? Like, you got to have that mindset of like progression in some sort of capacity.
Yeah. Yeah. So I want to have a very successful business. And I wouldn't mind being the biggest company around. I mean, I think that would be, but I don't know if I have to take each day different. So what I'm going to do for today is I'm going to try to be the best I can with what I have.
Yeah.
And what I have now and what I've got, my customers and the clients that I have, I'm going to take care of them. And then if I end up being, I've got 5 more other companies that we're moving to or whatever, 5 locations. I mean, that is what it is. But I think a lot of people get lost in trying to take care of stuff that hasn't happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
We have to take care of today. We have to take care of our business today to be able to have a business for tomorrow.
Yeah.
If you try to run your business for tomorrow, then I don't think it's going to happen.
Right. So, I mean, for a business owner, there's so many facets inside of it, like nozzles that you're turning, like, to keep the operations going, the customer service going, all that. So eventually, like you guys have done with your family, like you have to add more people to that environment to help you, like,
Yes.
because with growth creates more opportunities and, like you can only be one man, right?
That's right.
So how does that work for you as far as like, as your team has grown and like instilling those values and those traditions into new people?
So my uncle, that's what he went from being a like mediocre, couple $1 million type of company to a $7 million company. It was from him actually stepping down and putting people in different places.
Mhm.
And that's hard to do, especially whenever you have
Yeah.
somebody that's like we are. Like I want to do it all. I can do it all, and I want to do it all. But if I do, I'm not gonna make it. So being able to, I think having those right off the bat conversations with your guys, like I have one of my sales guys that I have that works for me, man, like it's good. Like our vibe is he knows exactly what I need. I know exactly what he needs. I'll shoot him a text. What's going on? We have sales meetings every Thursday. We talk every day. But being able to have somebody like that that's not in it for them, but in it for the business is, I mean, it's hard to find, but it's like you got to do it because you can't do everything yourself.
I'm curious though, like the person you're talking about, are they just like you or completely opposite of you?
Just like me.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. There's different things that he does that I don't do, but as far as his mentality, he lets things roll off his back a lot easier than I do. Like,
Still working on it.
still working. Yeah, he can.
Is he older than you?
No, he's younger.
Oh, wow.
Just a little younger than I am.
Okay.
Uh, but he's also he's from a recovery background too. So um,
See, that's why you have to share your story.
Yeah.
Is so like when you find
Right.
those connections, is like you can help them, in their career or with their life and their family. So yeah.
Which and so like the Brenham, my office isn't as big as like what the Beaumont office is. Like we have secretaries, and I mean there's a whole office full of people over there that's always in and out. We have all our metal shops over there, so people are moving back and forth. So there's just a few of us over here. So we get to be a little bit tighter.
Little
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, a little bit more family, which we have a good family based over there. But people move so much, go back and forth. Like you don't get to sit and like there'll be days that like, hey, what you got? No, not much. Well, so all right, well let's go somewhere, and then we'll go and hit up some different customers as far as like new builders that we haven't dealt with before. He'll go in or I'll go in. We'll take our trifolds and just go and talk.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as our area and just business growth overall is like there's so many things at our fingertips as far as like technology, social media, all that. But it feels like our market is very much like relationship based of who you know and how that happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we heard of you,
Right.
like was a business relationship. It wasn't because we saw your social media post.
Right. Yeah, and that's how he doesn't like Facebook. He's not on Facebook. He's got a page, but he doesn't do anything on it.
It's relational.
Yeah, that's I like that. I've got others. I'm not very good at doing all that. So,
But it's one of those things of like you acknowledge, yeah, I could do it, but like I'm gonna delegate that like to somebody else because I'm good over here
Yeah.
doing customer relations.
Well, that's a good leader, knowing
Yeah.
what you can and can't do and what
Yeah.
you need to get out
yeah,
to other
and
people.
I with all that social media, I try to stay out of it. Let them kind of do whatever they need to do. Other people have different values as well, so I have to kind of keep myself on a like try to keep it professional.
And I know. And I mean, like, that's one of my favorite quotes that Michael Jordan said is like, Republicans still buy my shoes. So, like, I mean, we can have those conversations like over coffee or something like that. Like, you're going to have that belief of whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's like when it comes to business, like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
But don't get one thing. This is my livelihood too. So
Right.
if it gets messed up,
But again, like, you have to have that, like, awareness as a
yes.
business owner of like, is this going to work as a client relationship or we're probably not going to have a very good time working together.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you have the authority to do that.
100%.
Yep.
Don't forget it.
But like I tell
The authority of it.
like my kids do not do social media. They're not allowed to do that. Like I don't care if everybody in the school does it. Like as a teenager, like when you're 18, you can go do that. But it's like once it's out of the tube, like the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't take it back. And so like when we grew up, you didn't have to worry about that. But like anything that you put out there is out there. You can't take it back.
That's right. That's 100%.
Yeah. So I'm curious, like it's almost winter in Texas. So like what are some things that people should be maybe looking at their roof, like, and maybe not if they don't have a leak, but maybe there's something that they should be paying attention to that they could might need a new roof soon.
I think right now because we haven't had any storms. We had one back in May by off 577 Bluebell Road. some hell that hit there. So we got quite a bit of those houses to do, but with no rain, no nothing like that. I think the only thing that you could, if your roof is shiny and it's looking at you and you can see it glisten, it's
And
probably
it's not metal.
and it's not metal.
Yeah.
It's probably time to somebody look at it. Uh, so like you're talking about growing and stuff like that around this community, um, the houses that they're building, these tract homes.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea, but I think after a while, that's where I don't do those types of homes, right? As far as like the new builds, like I don't do tract homes because everything is so cheap. Um, so like here in the next few years, with
Sooner rather than later.
the windstorms that we've been getting, that isn't really that bad. All these shingles are flying off, uh, just from poorly, just not caring of how you install things. And I think that to me is crazy, is just the not caring of when you're doing something. So like those types of neighborhoods, like I enjoy those because I'll get to do those in a few years. Yeah.
You drive past and go,
Yeah.
cha-ching.
Yeah. Yeah. After a while, I can drive by there now by the Brenham Elementary and you can see them all. The shingles
You
are
just
coming
got a
up.
clock and it's counting
Yeah.
down to when you're going to start getting the calls. Well, and real quick, I wanted to ask because I keep seeing like on Instagram and stuff that there's like new types of shingles coming out that last longer, and like are all those real, or is that a hoax? Is it just a marketing like?
No, so I use a manufacturer called GAF, and they've been doing a lot of ingenuity on how to make things last longer. Not every other unless you do metal, it's not going to last forever. So they try to do the best they can. And the reason why I use JAF one because I'm certified with them and I can give you really good warranties. I can give you a 50-year, 100% warranty on it.
Wow.
But they use
Metal and composition?
just on the shingles with the
Oh, okay.
yeah. So the manufacturer JF is who I use for all my shingles. They put little copper balls inside their shingles because all those black streaks that you see on the roofs is just algae. So like they put those in there to be able to give you like a 25-year warranty on no algae, right? And their warranty if something happens or messes up, like they'll do what they need to do as far as replacing it. We come with a 5-year warranty as well. So if there's anything in between that 5 years that is wrong, is leaking or whatever, we'll take care of it.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
So obviously like in the winter months are like it's very different than the rain season. So is there anything besides like shininess that people should be aware in winter, or is it just more like storms, water?
Just storm. I mean, there's the winter time we don't get snow
Yeah.
frost very much, so it does. I think 2020 that was a weird year
Yeah, you're
altogether.
correct.
But we had that storm that hit for I think it was like 2 weeks of snow or whatever, but that doesn't happen very often. Just if you have gutters, just get them clean so you don't,
Mm,
the ice doesn't freeze backwards, because water will run back into the house. So,
that's
I
a
mean,
good point. So I mean, do you have a relationship with like gutter installers too?
yeah,
Like just
yeah.
because it's
So
such
the one is our Beaumont branch does gutters. I've got a guy that I've got a really close relationship with that I'll refer to so we can kind of keep things. He does a lot of new construction as well, so we kind of I like being around people
Work
with
on the same thing.
the same mentality.
Why do so many Texas homes not have gutters?
I don't know. I don't have gutters. No. I think you need gutter. We have so
I
much
know I
rain.
want gutters. I
Yeah.
don't have any, but it's on the goal list.
Yeah, I think homes should have gutters 100%.
It's just a place for them to cut corners when they're building it.
Yeah, that and when they do put them on there, like they backfill different ways and having it done professionally.
You got to have it done right.
Yeah, and that's the conversation I had with the new builder that I got yesterday was he was tired of like the cheap route, and he was tired of going back at a year whenever he just built a house and it wasn't like there's so many corners that they cut that he didn't know about. And so it's like, well, I mean, you're doing homes from 500,000 to $800,000, and they're doing everything's custom. Like
You can't cut corners.
you can't cut corners. Like you
Mm-mm.
can't like it's like that's you want a good business, you want a good product. Let's everybody in general. Let's all be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're getting a real thing.
Well, it's going to cost you more money in the long run if you cut corners and you have to go back and redo it.
Yeah, and that's what he said. He said, "Well, I'm just gonna start doing my bit. I'm gonna go off of what you say, not what I just assume." That's where a lot of they kind of cut corners. They can kind of do it the cheap. They kind of have a idea of what the cheap route could be, and that's what they're going to go. And then they ask me like, "Well, how much is it going to cost?" And I'm a lot more expensive than what they thought. And they're like, "Oh, well, maybe next time." But now a lot of the guys that I'm starting to do business with,
Seeing the product they get.
seeing the product, they're seeing the relationship, because that's huge, is the relationships.
So like in 2020, like whenever like supply and demand, like it was like so intense for a lot of construction. And so like the prices went way up. So is that the same? Like, did you experience that in the roofing industry?
It was weird. Um, I was just getting into it when 2020 was hit, so it was different. I don't remember much of it just because it was new. I didn't really focus too much on it. Uh, but I think so what my uncle always says is, you kind of almost prepare for stuff like that. Like the economy, I mean, we have a pretty good economy, but things are weird, right? Businesses are laying people off. There's some
It's just
businesses
uncertain.
that are going bankrupt. But there's a reason why we do things the way that we do things inside a business, so that way we don't have to shut doors. We put stuff in savings. When if we pull something out of savings, we put it right back. In slow times, you have to kind of
Buff up.
and kind of redo things, and not necessarily cut corners, but kind of redesign what you need to do to where you can still have your employees.
Absolutely. And I mean, like, I wouldn't even know like what study this was, but it was saying like, I know that there's like a mentor that I had that talks about like when the economy's bad or whatever, like a lot of people like strip down to the bare minimums. And it's like, that's the time that you really should just do evaluations, buff up, and then like reevaluate. And then like that is not the time to cut everything out of the way, the structure that you have.
A lot of people want to, when things are good, you're always, I find personally what I see is people tend to like overspend on stuff.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden it's slow time, and then you don't have to necessarily just like cut it out. You can cut it down. Or maybe whenever things are good, you don't have to buy a Maserati or whatever it is. You can kind of set it to the side and use it for something that you actually need. And that's what we did for our metal business. We bought a roll forming machine that it spits the metal sheets on site. So we invested in stuff like that. We invested in a 21-foot computer brake that bends all of our metal for us for the flashing. We do everything. Everything's custom. No, we can.
That's awesome.
We don't have to go to the store and buy it.
That's awesome. Well, you have just been a plethora of information, and it's been great meeting you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for coming on. If people want to connect with you, maybe they're thinking about a new roof or want your insights, how can they find you?
Facebook and Instagram, Absolute Roofing Brenham. Websites on there. Our phone numbers, emails. You can go on there and call the office, and they'll get you in touch with us.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me. This was fun.
Good. And so I'm so glad you came, and it was your first podcast. So happy to host you. So we hope that you got a lot of information today. We dove into so many topics, and so we're so grateful for his time today. If you want to find us, you can find us at texastrioteam.com. Take care and keep living your best life.